Hi guys, it's Nick Nairn here from my kitchen at home, and I'm going to bring you one of my lockdown specials, the kind of dishes that the family enjoyed while we were all stuck here at home. And this is quite dear to my heart. This is chicken satay, probably the first dish that I tasted that made me think that maybe there was more to life than mince and tatties. I had the benefit of tasting it in Singapore in 1976, and it started this whole process of me wanting to be a chef. I've cooked this lots of different times. There are lots of different ways of doing it. This is one of the easier but still delicious ways, and it involves, unusually for me, a jar of sauce. So this is satay sauce. It's made by a brand called Jimmy's, made in Hong Kong. It's not massively authentic, but it is utterly delicious. So if you can't get this, you can make your own satay sauce. There's millions of recipes on the internet. It's the technique as ever, it's the technique that's important. So what I've got here are chicken thighs, and I've cut these into bite-sized pieces, about a sort of inch by half an inch. And I'm going to marinate them with some of the satay sauce. Whether it's a homemade or it's a shop bought, the technique is still the same. So in with the marinade and work it well into the chicken. The chicken should really sort of absorb all of that marinade. Now I'm just going to let this sit for 20 minutes or so, but if you can do this the day before and leave it overnight in the fridge, you get much better penetration of the flavors. However, this particular marinade is such a fine flavor, you can get away with doing it and just let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. So that's the satay sauce. The next thing is a little splash of soy sauce, and this is the light Japanese soy. Don't use one of the sweeter, darker ones, just the light Japanese. A little bit of Thai fish sauce in here as well. We'll use this again later on to make the marinade for the salad, because I'm going to serve this with an Asian salad with a Vietnamese nam prick dressing. I'm going to cook it on the griddle on the induction cooker. So chicken to one side. Now for the dressing. So this is a classic Indonesian dressing. It's driven by hot, sweet, salty, sour, but this also has the fragrance of coriander, the savouriness of garlic, and the heat of crushed chilies. So we start off with fish sauce. This, used correctly, it is utterly delicious. So about a tablespoon of fish sauce, about a tablespoon of sugar, and about a tablespoon of lime juice. Now, lime's notorious for being variable as to how much juice is in them. So, in here, fish sauce, which is salty, nearly 50% salt, sugar, sweet, lime juice, acidic, and the heat will come in the form of powdered chili or crushed chilies, and then the fragrance is going to come from coriander, and the savouriness will come from garlic. So once that sugar has been dissolved, and you need to work it to make sure the sugar is dissolved, otherwise you won't get the full effect of the sugar and the balance could be awry. So it shouldn't be salty, it shouldn't be sweet, it shouldn't be acidic, it should be all of them at the same time. Now I think more by luck than good judgment, I've got that spot on first time. So we're going to add to that the heat, the chili heat. So this is just a little bit of crushed chilies. You can see that in there. In go the chilies. Just about that amount, just enough to coat the top, unless you like it really hot, in which case you can wang them in. Give that a little stir through. A clove of garlic. So just going to take the garlic off of here. To get the skin off the garlic, put it on the board, cut down, lift it up, quick crush. The skin should just come off the outside. And then when the garlic is all nice and fine, in it goes to the dressings. So in that goes there. So garlic in. And then we're going to add coriander for fragrance. So I want to keep the stalks on. The stalks of coriander have more flavour than the leaf of coriander. So I try and keep those on. So I've got a nice bunch of coriander there. And I take that and I line all the stems up, then fold it in half. And then so I'm cutting down across the stems, a little bit like chopping chives. And this gives you the maximum amount of flavour from the coriander. So coriander in here, and I'm just going to mix that together. So this is the salad dressing for my Asian salad. Hot, sweet, salty, sour, savoury and fragrant. Okay, I'll put that down over there. For the salad, I'm going to start off in a mixing bowl. I'm going to take some carrot, and I am going to take a peeler, and I'm just going to do some very thin slivers of carrot. Just keep peeling as though you're peeling the carrot, although it's already peeled, so that you get long, thin ribbons of carrot. Okay, so you can sort of see there's the carrot in here. Next up, I've got some sugar snap peas. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to cut them at a sort of jaunty angle. So they go in there. So now you've got the carrots, you've got the sugar snap peas. Next up, we've got a couple of spring onions. I'm going to mainly use the green part at the top. And again, I'm cutting these at a jaunty angle. It just makes them look an interesting shape. You get that sort of lozenge shape like that. Chili next, and it depends on how much chili heat you actually need. So it doesn't matter if it's green or red. Again, remember, if you want the heat, leave the seeds in. If you're not so keen on the heat, take the seeds out. So I did about half of the chili. I'm leaving the top part, which has most of the seeds, and in goes the red chili. Now, I love mango in Asian salads, and it doesn't matter if the mango is a little bit underripe. Sometimes I actually think it's a bit better if it's slightly hard. But if you see the bottom part in here, so we're going to cut that off first, straight down, spin it around to the other side, take the top off, and again you can just see the top of the stone there. It's always a good idea just to take the knife and put it on the top and then mark where the stone is. So I'm going to use a sharp knife. I'm going to cut around like so, turn the knife, okay, like so. So when you've taken the skin off, you can see there by marking the top, I know where the stone is. So I take my knife, I can't cut down the top because that's the stone, so I move off to the side, and then I come down and I just feel where the stone is, so that I can slip the knife down in between the flesh and the stone. And if I turn it round and put it on the board, you can see I can do the same thing this way. So I'm cutting up slightly and then round to follow the shape of the stone. So we're going to take the mango and then just using a sharp knife, cut it into strips, and you can see the strips like so. Okay, voila. Some cashew nuts. Just these are unsalted cashews, and I'm roughly chopping them down. I'm not crushing them. I want to leave some whole, and in go the cashews. A little bit of red pepper, mainly just for colour. A bit of red pepper here, and then fairly finely sliced down. And I don't like tomato in this salad. Some recipes say to use tomato. I don't think the flavour of tomato works, to be honest, in Asian salads. So I tend to use red pepper rather than tomato. So I've got some mint leaves here, and you need to pick the leaves off of the stalks, but leave the mint leaves whole unless they're really big. Coriander here, and this time I'm just going to very roughly chop this, not like the dressing where it was finely chopped. This is salad leafy, so quite rough. In that goes here. Just a small handful of fairly insipid sweet salad leaves. So a handful of bean sprouts in there. So this can be covered and left in the fridge for up to 24 hours before you use it. Same thing with the dressing. Okay, little bamboo sticks here, and I'm going to lace up the chicken pieces. So just through the bamboo here, push them on, and this is obviously something you would do ahead of time through here. And I'm doing about 3 sort of pieces of chicken per skewer. Obviously you could use bigger skewers and do more. Just about this, the last one. Through we go, like so. And then once the skewers are done, again, these could be kept in the fridge for 24 hours until you're ready to cook them. And they're just ready to go straight onto the barbie. So I've had the grill on for about 7-8 minutes. It's starting to get quite hot, so I'm just going to increase the temperature a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of oil, this is just ordinary vegetable oil, just on top of the skewers. I'm going to give them a little bit of a seasoning with some, first of all, a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of pepper, like so. And we are good to go. So we're just going to take the skewers and bang, down on the grill they go. Let's turn up that fan. Really going to get it quite high now because the exhaust from this is quite pungent, let us say. Okay, on here. Like so. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil over the top, hardly any. Okay. So I'm just going to turn the skewers. Okay, so you see that nice colour coming on there. Whoa. It really is one of the best ways to cook these. Probably the only other way you're going to get such nice charring and caramelization is to use a barbecue. So really what we've created is an indoor barbecue. It really is fabulous. So during cooking, it helps just to squeeze a little bit of lime over the top, like so. And then you can actually take the lime and just put it down onto the char like this as a little bit of a garnish for the end. So one of the advantages of using a hob like this amazing Siemens hob, not only does it take away all of the smoke and the steam, but it stays really nice and clean. When it is dirty, it's very easy just to wipe clean again. So while they're finishing cooking, I'm going to dress the salad. So if you remember the salad that we did before, that lovely mixture of different colors and flavors and textures, and we're going to take the dressing, which was the lime, sugar, fish sauce, chili, garlic, coriander, and that just gets poured over the top. Now remember, this is 0 fat, so who doesn't like a 0 fat dressing? Then everything just gets tossed, so it's very lightly coated. The dressing is incredibly punchy, so you don't need to use much of it. That's the chicken, really nicely charred now. So if I just turn off the hob, it'll slowly start to shut everything down. The fan will shut down, but there's just that little bit of residual heat left in the plate that will just finish off cooking the chicken to perfection. In there, like so. So to put this together, serving plate, bit of the salad. Remember, we've dressed the salad with the fish sauce, lime, sugar, chili, garlic, coriander dressing. And it's a nice bit of a mix of everything in the center of the plate. You can see these fantastic colors that these Asian style salads have. Lots of stuff going on in there. So every time you take a mouthful, it's a little bit different from the one before. And we'll just take a couple of these skewers and pop them in here like so, and one on the side. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my chicken satay with an Asian salad and a Vietnamese dressing. So join us again from my kitchen to yours, courtesy of Siemens, manufacturers of these fabulous induction hobs.